Thank you, Dean. And now for the second of our speakers, Callie Smith. Callie, please come join me.
A little bit of a hike to get up there. Most people like to view a school's transition in terms of administration. New tactics, new headmasters, new teachers. And sure, I guess who runs the school is important-ish. But then I think back to my days at Branson. A kind friend says, "Hey Callie, how you doing?" And on the rare occasion I might say, "I'm great, how about yourself?" But if we're all going to be honest, most of our responses are either, "I'm tired," or "I am so hungry." We are well fed here at the Branson School, but talking about lunch somehow seems to be the best jumping off point for a great conversation. So, even though many of you see me about assembly every week, advocating for different clubs or administrative initiatives, I'd like to present the Branson experience along the lines of food. Freshman year, our class was cruising along, basking in the safety of chicken and buttered biscuits, not yet having to think about college or really any responsibilities extending beyond that yearly commons cleanup duty, which most of us forgot to go to anyway. Many of us still clung to those friends we made during the first month of freshman year, and the people we hung out with were largely determined by whether we spent our lunches relaxing in the quad, studying in the Rand Center, or playing Clash of Clans on our iPads with a smidgen of hope that one day we could sell our accounts on Craigslist for a valuable cash prize. Some might argue that the big news at Branson came earlier this year when our school's name showed up one morning in the Marin Independent Journal. But I would argue that the bigger news happened long before that. We came back to school as sophomores, ready to enjoy some mashed potatoes and 25-cent morning muffins when we were met with a new chef. It was at this point that my fellow classmates and I were forced to put on our big girl undies and try things like salmon with mango chutney and tropical melon bathed in fish sauce. With each bite of quinoa we took, we were becoming bigger and better people. Many of us branched out of our comfort zones in ways that extended far beyond the lunch line. We made new friends, we got better grades, we worked really hard in our extracurriculars and in our sports, and we started thinking really seriously about our futures. Junior year was when I looked up from my own personal busyness, and I started to realize that every single person in the class of 2015 does something incredible. We were working alongside high-achieving people in our classes, people who finished their homework during the day just so they can spend their nights practicing an instrument, or people who woken up at 5 in the morning to train for their sport. I will always be impressed by the dedication that my peers have shown for their passions. Just as we were beginning to get burned out from all the stress and work of being a Branson kid, we came back to senior year with a new chef, along with the overwhelming realization that even if we spent time writing one college essay a week, we'd probably be working right up until that January 1st college application deadline. Our new best friends became Matt, Meredith, and you guessed it, the new self-serve food station in the Commons. 3 chefs and 2 headmasters later, we are different people now than when we started freshman year as little balls of dough with braces. Just as there have been good lunch days and bad lunch days, we've all had our ups and downs over our 4 years, but we certainly have left a legacy here at Branson. Our class made administrative changes and created things like Student Health Day and student forums, but to me, most important are the things that only we knew about, like Jack Verhilly's Instagram account. We've had our fun here, but our 4 years are drawing to a close. Even though we are leaving, I'd like to think that a part of our high school selves will stay with us. Whenever I think back to school, I'll always imagine Dean in one of his thrift store t-shirts and Zoe Moynihan driving with her leg out of the car window. Just as I cherish our chef's delicious 7-layer bars, I will hold the class of 2015 dear to my heart for years to come. You guys have proved to me that even in our small Branson bubble, I can find people who have their own way of making a dent in the universe. High school is over now, but it really was only ever meant to be a beginning. And I have no doubt in my mind that all of you are going to successfully embrace the spice of life. Thank you.
There are some faculty awards that are specified to be at graduation, and we'll do those now.